guys.
Hey there.
How are you doing?
We will start very soon. I'm just inviting everyone who's up here in the stage. And then we'll play a little song to fill the room, and then we'll get started, guys.
Sure, I was just testing my mic.
All good, all good.
Thank you.
We have voice isolation on.
It sounds like Davey might be playing Sandstorm by Darude, which, by the way, I fully support, but it doesn't sound particularly, the sound isn't great over Twitter.
Yeah, he probably has his voice isolation on.
Oops.
Yep. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to see how I can get the best audio. It's just simply impossible over X. It's just, it sounds ugly. I know, but I mean, it's better than complete silence, right? So anyway, let's get started. Welcome to episode number 2 of the Server Spaces. I'm super happy to see everyone tuning in again after last week's episode, which had over 100 live listeners at some point, which was obviously great. Before we dive in, make sure to retweet the spaces, please, so we can get more people in here and keep the energy flowing. For those who are new here, the Server Spaces is all about connecting builders, traders, creators, talk about everything hyperliquid. And every week we try to invite new projects within the ecosystem, but also previous projects. Obviously, everyone's welcome. So today we have an amazing lineup. We got Hybra Finance, Dexari, Catball, Demon Drip, Kintsu, Airdrops.io, Hype Engine, and of course Hypersurface. So before I dig in, I want to give an SO to my co-host Empress and give the mic shortly to her. I see you're not co-host yet. Let me fix that for you. But I'm still throwing over the mic to you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Been a busy week. Lots of spaces are opening up. It's exciting. Yeah, that's all I got for now. Please like and retweet the space. And I think I just dropped this in 11 chats, which made me realize I'm in too many chats.
Awesome. Thank you, Empress. I just sent you the co-host invite, by the way. So it should be there. Let me see. Right. All right, guys, what we're going to do, speaker rounds, basically kick off with an introduction. Even though there are some projects that were already here last week, I still want you to introduce yourself if possible, as there are new listeners and new projects on the stage. So I'm not sure. I don't see Hybra. Yeah, I do see Hybra Finance. Let's start with Hybra Finance. Can you give a quick 2-minute intro about yourself, about Hybra Finance, and maybe some highlights of the recent period?
Hello. Thanks for the invite here. I'm with Hybra Finance. We're a VE33 DEX on HyperEVM. We're trying to develop on our own model on top of VE33, which is called G33. We have our upcoming TGE in about 4 or 5 days time from now. We're getting ready for everything. This is last week is, this the last week's sprint until TGE. Pretty excited, and thanks for having us on.
Awesome. Thank you for the intro. I mean, that's an exciting time. TGE coming up, super busy, hectic times. Appreciate you guys hopping on. The next one I want to go to, also new to me. Pleasure to connect, Dexari.
Hello. Thanks for having me on. This is Shahab from Los Angeles. I lead socials here for Dexari. As you guys know, Dexari is a mobile first wallet on Hyperliquid.
Awesome. Great having you with us. Next one, Catball. Obviously, you guys were here last week as well. But I'm super thrilled to have you on again. How are you guys doing?
Yo, thank you for having me. Pretty good. I'm actually clicking as we're talking. I don't mean to be offensive, but I'm on a tight deadline. We have the art review coming up this week. I hope so. We're at the finish line right now. So quite busy, but very exciting. Thank you for having me again.
Exciting stuff. We'll definitely have some questions there soon. Next one I want to throw over the mic to is Kintsu. Is Kintsu here?
I don't see him, I don't think.
All right, no worries. Then we'll just hop on to the next one, which is Airdrops.io. How are you guys doing?
Good morning. It's Jamie from Airdrops.io. Thanks for the invite. We're the leading portal for discovering the best opportunities in crypto. So we focus on early stage projects with the potential to tokenize and confirmed airdrop campaigns. We're also heavily involved with Hyperliquid, one of the top 25 referrers, and we've invited almost 1,200 users to the DEX to date. And also you can use our platform to find out about all the Hyperliquid ecosystem projects as well.
Wow. So you're definitely integrated into the Hyperliquid ecosystem then. Amazing. Awesome. So the next one, Hype Engine. Are they on the stage? I do see we have a couple of speakers. I'm not sure if those speakers are from Hype Engine or not.
Yeah, GM. This is Ace from Hype Engine, CSO co-founder. And essentially we are a fully on-chain digital asset treasury strategy We are pre-launch, but we're gearing up to raise as much hype as we can to provide users, depositors with amplified hype exposure. It's the best asset in the world, and we're here to grow the treasury.
Awesome. Can't wait to learn more there. Super exciting stuff. Finally, Hypersurface. Monica, do you want to do a quick intro about yourself and Hypersurface?
Always. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Co-founder, CEO of Hypersurface, Monica here. Thank you all so much for coming and joining us this week. I guess my background, I came from TradFi. I worked as a software engineer. I've been around in crypto since 2017, and we are extremely, extremely excited about Hypersurface. We launched our first version of our products around August. And so far, the reception on HyperEVM has been awesome. We know that we chose the right community to build our product because everybody here really deeply understands DeFi and knows that the future of finance is decentralized. So excited to have everybody here. And Hypersurface, super simple. We give you yield on the tokens that you already own, including on Hype. Right now, our primary product is selling covered calls, which is basically just a way for you to automatically get yield on the Hype that you already have. So check it out. It's hypersurface.io. Davey, talk to all of our awesome guests.
Thank you, Monica. Last but not least, Demon Drip, new speaker this week. Excited to learn more.
Hello. Thank you guys for inviting me. My name is Crypto Baba. I'm the co-founder of Demon Drip DAO, and we're launching at the end of this month Pixel collection of demons on Hyperliquid. Many utilities to come and many bullish stuff to tell about.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. Quickly, Empress, do you have anything to share or any recent things that stood out to you within the Hyperliquid ecosystem before we kick off with the project question?
Everybody's freaking out and panicking, and I'm buying usually. Other than that, no, not really.
Perfect. That's what we like to hear. And I couldn't agree more. I mean, you're a seasoned one, right? You've been around for a while. So I get it. Awesome. I think it's time to lean deeper into the projects. The first one on my list is Hybrid Finance. Sorry, someone got to be the first one. Liquidity is the foundation of every strong on-chain ecosystem, right? How does Hybrid Finance plan to deepen and stabilize liquidity across HyperEVM?
Cool. So yeah, there's basically like the need of liquidity on every single EVM, right? And I think what we're trying to achieve is actually going down the V33 model, which is kind of tried and tested throughout basically every single EVM. There is a need of a successful or a VE33 DEX to, it's a very capital efficient way of utilizing money for each party involved, whether it be for partners who are putting their protocol own liquidity onto a DEX. There is rewards of that since we can partner up together and you can get emissions. There's also for like our DEX and also for holders of our upcoming token. Everything basically is trying to maximize capital efficiency in each way. So we're trying to basically, right now we're going down a path of dynamic fees, which is going to be basically, in simple terms, we're trying to capitalize as much fees for users as possible as well, which will go back into both pools from protocol and liquidity and users liquidity. So yeah, I think that's a easy way of kind of saying, we're trying to maximize everything for both users and protocols so that everything will be optimized as best as they can and liquidity will easily flow from users to protocols to everything on the HyperEVM.
Awesome. I see your TGEs obviously coming up. Do you want anything to share there? Any of what's coming next after TGE? Obviously, there's a lot of TGEs within the upcoming period. I'm just wondering how you guys position yourself for your TGE. with all the noise, not only within Hyperliquid, obviously in crypto in general at the moment. It's sort of a scary time for a lot of people. So yeah, that's my second question to you guys quickly before I jump to another. Like, how do you guys position yourself within all the noise?
Yep, sure. So I think something that we've done quite differently to most projects is, for one, we have a very, very, very large allocation towards our community. It's 38.5%. And we've said so from a very early stage. I think it was supposed to be 33%, and then we changed it to 38.5%. So it is very community aligned, and it's always been. And something that I think we stand apart from others is actually like heavily putting time in with our community. So all of our we talk to all of the like users of Hybra on a daily basis. Like everyone talks. We have like group chats where we talk about and like interact with all of our community. If they ever need help, we're always there. So I think all of our community kind of understands that we're trying to like put our community first in every single way possible. And then also our launch will be locked in in VE Hybra as the airdrop. So having it as VE Hybra will, it's kind of a different launch to just straight airdropping tokens. So it'll be interesting. But then there is also a pre-sale method where people can either pick Hybra or VE Hybra. So it'll be interesting to see as well on how many people are wanting to lock for a longer term or unlock their Hybra now. But yeah, I'm bullish on our community, and I think they'll take us far.
Awesome, and thanks for sharing, and good luck, obviously. And if you need any help, you know where to find us from our side. The next one on my list is Dexari. So, Dexari is a wallet. A wallet UX is obviously, a huge part of DeFi adoption. What's Dexari's approach to simplifying DeFi while keeping everything secure for users? This might be a standard question, but I think it's a very important one.
Yeah. Our goal is to have a simplified process and great user experience, seamless. We just started this integration with dBridge where you can swap on our app seamlessly between chains and between assets as well. And that's the road we're going down, where anybody can use Dexari and make fast, quick, seamless transactions and rapidly as well. But that does not mean that security has to be compromised. Seedless wallets or better UI still comes with level of security. Our wallets are powered by Turnkey, which has been battle tested and audited many times, and we'll continue to do so.
Amazing. Thank you. All right. So Getball, I'm super excited about your project. A few NFTs, so this question is a little bit for myself as well. Everyone's been talking about the Getball NFT reveal, right? So I just want to ask, when is it happening? How will it work? And what do you expect to happen to the floor and community sentiment once it's revealed?
Yeah, so we are at the stage where the art is finished. It has been quality checked a few times. We have also produced all the metadata, and I kind of went a little bit autistic on it. So some names are really, really long.
Did he wreck or did I?
Yeah, I think so. We can't hear you, Catball.
Good now, sir. We can't hear you.
We'll reverse back to Catball. Yeah, let's rejoin. And we'll get back to Catball in a bit. Then we're just hopping over to the next one on the list, which is Demon Drip. So, as you're new here, what's been the inspiration behind Demon Drip? And how did you manage to build such a hype page and community in such a short period?
Okay, so first, I think we love pixel art. I grew up with Mario, Zelda, and all those things. But we wanted to do something different than apes, dogs, or cats. Sorry, Catball. So Epic and Epic is my my artist and co-founder. We had the idea to make some demons, but we wanted to be nicer. So we came up with the lore. I don't know if you see it on our website, but it's about a demon fighting with the devil and leaving hell to go to a better life, a better place, and looking for redemption. And they're going to Hyperliquids, and they become pixel. So this is the idea we have around the project. Now, our secrets for such a hype, to be sincere and frank with you, we did not expect so much hype and so many people receive hundreds and hundreds of messages every day and collab proposal. I think we try to connect with the Hyperliquid community. We made traits and one-on-one for HL projects such as Hyper, Catball. We got some Catball mask for our demons. We try to get closer to the community leaders to have as much as possible Hyperliquid DNA in our NFT, and I think it's what brings this success, and that's what the people like.
Nice. I like it. Is there any alpha on the actual launch already?
I can give you an alpha. Unofficial, we're launching on the 29th of October. We always say end of October. I wanted to do it for Halloween because it was cool with the demons to do this for Halloween, but we're launching 29.
Got it. That's awesome. Thanks a lot for sharing. That's the alpha. So coming on Spaces, guys. Some launch date. That's awesome. I want to jump over. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Drip. I want to jump over to, let's see, who's the next on my list is Hype Engine. So, Hype Engine introduce compounding mechanics that reward long-term conviction. So my question here is, how does it maintain sustainability in a potential red market with a perpetual yield model? Oops, I think other speakers, Empress, did they rock?
Yep, I'm trying to bring him up, but the space is super glitchy.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Did you hear my question or no?
I did.
Awesome.
I got my wires crossed and had to reconnect, but
It wouldn't let
Thank
me
you.
bring him up. Apologies.
good. We figured it out. Yeah, great question. So I think just kind of starting from first principles, the whole concept behind a digital asset treasury is you're essentially providing a loan to the treasury to grow your hype. It's a way to get amplified exposure, and the way that works is the treasury will give you back either a share in TradFi or a token, which is what is done in DeFi. So we're providing users with a token that represents their underlying hype plus any yield. And this is where the whole concept of MNAV comes from. You want to grow the to NAV, so the underlying hype you want to grow that per the number of tokens that are issued by the treasury. So the way that we're going to do that is through obviously utilizing all the different avenues for growing hype on Hyperliquid, and there are many of those. We're all super bullish about required hype to be receiving lower trading fees. You have to stake to get the best rates on Hypercore. Staking Hyperliquid also generates a small amount of yield if you're staking with the validator directly. And there's this growing bevy of DeFi protocols, many of which are on the spaces here, that provide a good yield if you're lending hype, or if you're looping your stake hype, for example. And then finally, what we're all very excited about is HIP3, which could provide some of the highest yields in all of DeFi for staking hype. And obviously that's going to be a way for us to improve the MNAV over time. The most unique aspect of the Hype Engine is how it's also paired with the sister protocol called Nest Exchange. And quite similar to the hybrid finance model, we're utilizing the MetaDEX, which is vote escrow tokenomics, where token holders receive 100% of the fees generated by the exchange. The cool thing here is that the Hype Engine actually holds a VE Nest position and receives 40% of the fees generated by Nest Exchange. So they're getting a huge airdrop from Nest. That revenue stream will continue to buy hype and add to the treasury. And then those leveraged hype tokens, mega hype tokens, will essentially be produced and then rewarded back to Nest voters. So it's this really nice flywheel effect where, we're going to continue to build this Hype Engine treasury with more hype, generate leveraged or amplified hype exposure with mega hype tokens, and then continue to use those incentives for Nest voters and grow the whole Hyper-EVM alongside Hyperliquid.
Man, this sounds awesome. Are you guys, because obviously the might be a little bit complicated for people that are new in Web3. Are you guys doing anything on the educational side for the project?
Yeah, I've been researching, investing, and using these protocols for over 2 years now, and I have yet to come up with a 30-second elevator pitch. So it does require quite a bit of time to sit down, read about how this works on your own independently. There's also tons of great YouTube videos and Twitter threads you can look at to try and understand how vote escrow tokenomics work, especially from the Nest point of view, because it's a very hands-on, high-touch type of protocol. And that actually makes it quite sticky. But the way to do it is really just to try it out yourself. And I would say since our next exchange is launching in the next several weeks, you can go ahead and get your hands dirty by buying some Nest tokens or farming some Nest tokens, locking them up and becoming a voter. I'd also fully endorse, Hydra. If their TG is coming up, give it a try there. But it's fun to, on a weekly basis, log in, look at all the different protocols that have pools on the exchange, find out where people are trading, like, because the higher the volume, the higher the fees for each pool. And since voters have a say in, where the emissions get directed, they get 100% of the revenues generated by the exchange. And it's a nice feeling to wake up, even if the markets are bad, on a Thursday morning and claim fees generated by the exchange. There really is no better business model in DeFi, in my opinion, than operating a good decentralized exchange. And, if token holders get access to all those fees, we've really kind of solved a big piece of the puzzle for DeFi. So yeah, I think it's a do-it-yourself and self-educational ethos in DeFi, and that's the way I recommend people approach.
The explanation. I mean, I'm definitely gonna try it out myself. Maybe after the spaces, maybe tomorrow I will try it out, and I might bug you once or twice while I'm doing it. But thanks a lot for the explanation. Next one, airdrops.io. My question to you guys, obviously you guys are a different kind of platform than most of the speakers here, but how do you determine whether to list a project on airdrops.io or how do you spot good airdrop opportunity? Because obviously there's a lot of, let's say not super legit projects as well in the sea. So yeah, I really wonder how this works with you guys.
Yeah. So we look at a few key things. So one of them being product market fit. So is this project, something the market has a need for? Is it something that's going to be used and generate revenue down the line? And in this aspect, we really like Dexari at the moment. So shout out to Dexari, who are here with us today. It's probably one of the best mobile wallets we've seen for on-chain trading. So that'd be one key thing we'd look at as well. Whether it's early stage or not, the earlier you can get involved with a project, the better. So we're always on the lookout for new launches, waitlists, testnets, betas, and trying to get our audience to become like OG users before it becomes popular. So yeah, it's a bit more of a gamble in the early stages, but it's always good to participate. And also, we also look at mind share. So how popular is a project with like OGs? We also have some smart money addresses and smart money accounts that we look at, and we see what they're doing and who they're following and what protocols they're interacting with. And the big one as well is like the novelty and uniqueness of a product or a project. So unique projects, they need to like bootstrap communities because if they're unique, they're fairly new, so people won't be as familiar with them. And then they need to build their communities up to build momentum. And we think a really good example at the moment of this is the HIP-free builder deployed perps. So the novelty of these projects, that launching builder deployed perps like Trade.xyz, Hyperbeat, and there's many others. But they make us bullish on these projects. So we think that should be a main focus for people, for farmers or for users, because we're speculating that a decent amount of the remaining hype left over for future emissions and community rewards will probably be geared towards those early users and power users of builder deployed perps. So we suggest trading XYZ 100 indexed on venues like Based or Lit where they're available, or just joining the Trade.xyz waitlist. And then finally, another key factor is like friction. So, if there's a significant friction involved with a project, so that could be bridging to a new chain or getting access to a private beta, or there's some sort of cost involved, such as trading fees as there is on Hyperliquid or Hyperliquid ecosystem projects, then that kind of creates a barrier for most people to participate. So in turn, that means it's likely to be a good opportunity because it's not going to be over-farmed like testnets or anything with free interactions. So yeah, we kind of look at those factors and consider each of those factors when we list airdrops and what we think is a good airdrop opportunity as well.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think that's super important because I've seen a lot of platforms go down by basically, listing rugs, listing, farmers that never went live and stuff like that. Because you guys, I remember I think it was only a year or two in crypto while I was already using your guys' platform back then because I started as a farmer basically. You guys have been around since 17, right?
Yeah, we've been around for around 8 years. We launched in the crypto year of 2017. So there was a lot of new people brought into the space at that time. Airdrops are just starting out. It was so much easier back then, but now it's getting a bit harder. There's more competition. But yeah, since then we've established ourselves as sort of the leader in the airdrop kind of portal space.
100%. Well, thanks a lot. I'm happy to have you guys on. 100%. Thanks a lot for being here. The next one, Hypersurface. I'm going to throw this one to Andre, our CTO on Hypersurface. Obviously, Hypersurface has made covered calls accessible to the entire Hyperliquid ecosystem. But can you explain some of the technical challenges behind automating covered calls in like an on-chain environment?
Hey, this is Andre, co-founder, CTO. Thanks for having me. And yeah, totally like nerding out on all the technical aspects of what we're building. Basically, think about this. So what is cover call? Essentially, cover call is like a limit order that pays you yield. So you say, okay, of course, we want to, we are all diamond hand hype holders here, but sometimes, taking profits is also a good thing just to be able to, be fiscally responsible. And let's say you want to take profit at certain price levels, right? You can just simply wait for that price level to be hit and then you just sell your asset, or you can earn extra yield by utilizing cover calls, which is a strategy extremely popular in traditional finance and in crypto among funds and foundation treasuries and other institutional entities. So the way it works is basically you just say, okay, I'm cool with selling my hype at $50 1 month from now. And the protocol, Hypersurface would pay you an upfront USDT premium in exchange for that commitment. So it's basically an yield-bearing limit order. So now the question that people ask us most of the time is, where does this yield come from? Where does this premium come from? How is it sustainable? Like how can we suddenly pay you like a real dollar amount in exchange for simply committing to selling your asset? Well, that's where the most of the technical challenges lies. Is how do we basically make this premium back, right? Like how do we pay the user the premium and then still stay solvent and allow the protocol to make money, and while also keeping this all on chain in a non-custodial way. So typically, this trade right now, it exists in crypto only in OTC land, where you basically have to send your hype to an OTC desk, and they pay you premium, and then by the end of the contract, they either send you the stable coin or they send you hype back. So you have to trust them with your collateral. Now we do it in a fully non-custodial way where you don't have to trust any centralized entity, and this is where most of the technology to enable this is that we essentially strategically deploy your asset into a DEX as a DEX liquidity. We dynamically adjust it and rebalance it throughout the life of the contract in order to not only achieve the desired outcome at the end of the contract, which is either return your asset back or give you the proceeds of the sale, but also harvest the volatility in order to capture the premium back. So that is where that is the most challenging kind of process and the technologies that we built over time to enable that. But having said that, I think what's really cool is that because Hyper EVM, first of all, it exists in deep integration with Hyperliquid Core, with Hypercore, and it also has a variety of DEXs with pretty decent, good liquidity on them. So we can utilize all of that infra that built by other projects, which is an amazing property of DeFi is that you can the composability that you can build on top of what other people deployed, and that enables us to actually implement the product in a pretty easy way, as opposed to if we had to build all of these layers ourselves. Yeah, essentially it's already live. We launched it months ago, V1, and we're definitely going to be sharing a lot more dots in terms of how the technical part works. But just kind of to summarize what I said essentially is that yes, there are challenges, and yes, there is this novelty of building it and enabling these products in a fully non-custodial, decentralized way. But also the beauty of DeFi is that we don't have to reinvent the wheel or build everything ourselves, that we can plug into this amazing existing infra that lets us really accelerate the rollout of these products. Yep. So yes, that's my answer.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Andre. Very detailed as usual. Thanks a lot. I hope they're...
Yes, I'm not sure what happened to this
No worries. Do you still remember the question?
I think so, but I can also freestyle a little bit. The last thing I said was something that where we at in regards to the NFT collection. I think I said that we have finalized the art, and we have finalized the metadata, and now we're combining it all together. I think after this space is finished, I will upload everything to IPFS, and that will leave our blockchain developer with the final task of actually updating the metadata of already existing NFTs. So the summoning circles that you have, they will become fully fledged portraits. I don't think there's going to be anything actually required from the end users, from you guys.
Did you,
have
did you just say that you're revealing the long way?
What do you mean long way?
Did you just say they're going to reveal? Is that what you're saying?
No, we are. I just said that there's no action required from your side. So the metadata update will be the review. It will be handled by the blockchain dev.
It's all happening soon, right?
Hopefully tomorrow, and then I hope so. Because as I mentioned, the art is finished, the metadata is finished. We did quality assurance passes over it, and now I have to upload everything, both the images and the metadata to the IPFS, and then we update the summoning circle. So hopefully, the blockchain developer estimated the turnaround time for this process to be anywhere between 1 hour and 2 days. So that's the information I have. I'm not sure why is it so, but I guess it depends on if there's any errors along the way or not. But I hope it's going to be ready by the end of the week.
Amazing. I think you just made the day of a lot of people that are attending here. Because a lot of people are, it's actually, pretty good marketing for you guys as well, because like everyone is really, really waiting on the reveal, right?
Intentional. I will be honest with you. It's not intentional. It's just running a meme project, I guess. And it is what it is. We try to, balance a few different factors, namely, the size of our treasury, or the price of hype, or the macro conditions, kind of inactivity on hyper EVM. Besides DeFi, there's pretty much nothing going on. So some of our whales, they were like, oh, why won't you just do a sort of like a pre-reveal mechanic? And that's kind of how the summoning circles were born. It's not like a detailed marketing efforts, but I guess it's also visible by now. I think you were just being generous.
But don't get me wrong, like the artwork, the community you guys built, it's fantastic, man. So good luck, and I'm looking forward to it.
We'll keep you posted.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Everyone's excited about Catball. Awesome. I want to throw another question to Hybra Finance, by the way, which is, do you see potential synergies between like Hybra and protocols like Hypersurface, Hype Engine that work with Unchained Yield, if Hybra is still with us? Did we lost him, Empress?
Yeah, I do know that he had some personal things going on in DM, so he might pop back in.
All right, then we just go to the next one. Well, Demon Drip. We're obviously a new speaker. So what's the long-term vision for Demon Drip? And obviously, there might be a potential long red market. Not potential advice. I'm not saying when or more if. But I want to learn more about how you guys position yourself for such a period.
Okay. If you've seen our roadmap, we made a roadmap for long term. We made it for all the year coming. But first, we are a DAO, and our community is our priority. So we are already working on the voting and staking platform. It's fully paid out of our pocket because we wanted this to work. We will launch it probably 2-3 days after mint. It will be available for everyone with a revenue share on the marketplace. All the marketplace fees, 50% go back to the stakers. Okay, and all the decision on the project will be voted by our community. So I think for the long term, if we have a direction, we may shift. We can change with the community, and the community will adapt in function of the market to maybe change plan and do something to make the right choice together to build the future of the project on Hyperliquid and maybe being the next Catball.
Awesome. I think it's important, right, that you include your community within these decisions. So 100%, I agree. Right. So let's go to Hype Engine. Maybe, a standard question, but, you guys are first time here. So why did you guys choose to build on Hyperliquid? And did we had Hype Engine just now? Was that Hybra?
I'm here.
That's you dropped off. You didn't. Oh, amazing.
I don't have enough bandwidth nor an intern to find all the hyper EVM builders. So it's awesome you guys hold this space.
Hey, man, just know you're welcome every week. So invite everyone. Whenever you have time, feel free to hop on anytime.
Likewise, we've been holding weekly spaces same day, actually, Wednesday mornings. But yeah, I think it's just there's a lot happening and there's really users in the hyper EVM and Hyperliquid ecosystem. So people actually show up to these things, which is dude.
But I can't. I can't do it.
It was 7 a.m. Well, this morning it was still pitch black in Seattle, so I fully empathize. So why do we build on Hyperliquid, Hyper EVM? I think digital asset treasuries have become so ubiquitous in DeFi and Web3. It's like such a fad, and so many of these assets just don't make any sense for treasuries. Like the inflation is super high. The VC overhang is absurd. The demand for the actual token and the utility for the token is, worthless. So why are you trying to build a treasury besides the fact that you can allow holders of the asset a pipe deal that allows them to just like dump on retail? Hyperliquid is the first layer one with a token that actually has demand. We've all kind of been filled here, like with our green PFPs. But first of all, you must stake it if you want to get the best rates on hypercore perps. Bigger your stake, the better your trading rates. You've got demand from the assistance fund who's consistently buying back hype from all the different trading and fees and activity. 97 to 99% of all the fees are used to buy back the token. That's real demand. And finally, what we're very excited about, and I don't think anyone has fully wrapped their heads around, is how much demand is going to come from the HIP3 markets. I mean, I found myself like dreaming about different HIP3 markets today, which is crazy. Hyperliquid is on our minds literally 24. Of course, it makes sense for a digital asset treasury to accumulate hype because there's just all these natural demand sinks. So that's ideal for building in the hype engine. Yeah, did that answer your question?
Yeah, no, but I have just one comment. Hyperliquid.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. So, and the other thing you asked about was like how we could potentially work together. And I think you already mentioned it. Like the hype engine is going to hold a lot of hype, and we're going to want to generate the best yield with the most sensible portfolio effects. Like so, depositing hype into Hypersurface for a covered call strategy makes a lot of sense. I've seen some very, very good returns from each strategy who's worked with Derive on a similar strategy. So if we're a big holder of hype, it's an automatic partnership right there. There's also some things we could potentially do together with Mega Hype, the leveraged treasury asset. If people want to get like selling covered calls, have exposure to the underlying asset, but still kind of hedge out their risk, that makes a lot of sense as well. So we'll be working together closely.
And Monica, are you listening? You might not be. Andre is listening.
I am listening for sure.
Okay, that's awesome.
But my mute button was glitching. Hi, I'm here.
I actually had to press 3 times to get unmuted. So anyway, yeah, it's great that you guys listen. So maybe we can, connect later on these things.
Okay.
Nice. So let's go to Hypersurface. Second questions that I have for Andre. How do covered calls help to strengthen, on-chain liquidity and create like a healthier trading environment across Hyper EVM?
Sure. Yes, that's a great question, which is it's kind of not obvious how it works and how it helps with liquidity until you kind of understand exactly what's happening under different scenarios. So imagine you're a token issuer, like your project that has a token. Unless you have some very strong yield to offer to your holders, the only way for your holders to monetize, to take some profits, is to sell. So now when they sell, that's obviously negative, right? It creates downward selling pressure. It consumes the liquidity, and it can potentially create like cascading effects. Another way for them to get some cash is to borrow against their asset. And that's another very popular thing people do. But first of all, the borrowing markets might not be available on your asset or might not have enough liquidity. And then also when the price spikes down, it can also create like cascading liquidation effects where your asset essentially is getting sold in the market at the least favorable prices. So now how covered call is different from that is it's essentially it's the inverse of that, because your token holders, instead of selling in the market, they They lock up the asset in a covered call contract, and the asset only gets sold if the strike price is reached. And the strike price is typically selected to be higher than the current market price, or at least at the market price. So in a way, it's kind of like opposite of lending, where if the price goes down, then there is no liquidation. People simply keep their asset, plus they keep the yield, they keep the premium. And actually what many people do is they take their premium, and if the price of the asset goes down, they just buy back more assets, so they accumulate more. Like, let's say that's what I do. I still hype cover calls. I collect premium. If the price crashes, I just use the premium, buy back more hype at that lower price. So now, and the sale of the asset only happens if the price goes up, and it happens gradually. It's not like a one event where all of your hype gets sold for USDC, but it's more as the price slowly moves up, the little bit more hype is getting sold little by little. And then by the end of the contract, then you have all of your hype sold, and then you have USDC only. So it's essentially the way that the impact on the liquidity is that, first of all, instead of dumping, your holders now have this alternative way to monetize, to earn money on their asset. So it means it's already, reduces the selling pressure. And then another is like the way it's actually the mechanics of it, it's how it works under the hood, is that if the price crashes, then no sales is happening. And if the price is, Monica, can you please mute?
Sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
Just moving things around on my desk. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, just hit that mute button. That's great. Thank you. And that, and yeah, so basically, this is the instrument that kind of flips this whole problem with liquidity on its head, where not only it does not create cascading liquidations, it actually creates like a buffer of liquidity below the current price, and the asset only gets sold at a higher price if the price goes up. So it's totally kind of like inverse of the typical, either dumping, like panic dumping, or borrowing. So that's sort of how it strengthens liquidity, and because specifically, our implementation is the protocol Delta hedges by using DEXs, and that means that all of this happening on chain. So essentially, like enabling cover calls for your token means better DEX liquidity for your token. That's what the ultimate result.
Amazing, Andre. Thanks a lot. By the way, if anyone has questions, the speakers amongst each other, feel free to chime in, of course. If not, we'll just move on to the next speaker. Thank you, Andre. Airdrops.io, a second question for you guys. I've seen it, but the audience might haven't seen it. So how have airdrops evolved over the past few years, in your opinion? Like, what do you think they will look like in the future?
Okay, yeah. So major changes, the rise of like social fi and info fi nets. I think in the past you could just rely on like on-chain activity, and civil attacks were like way more successful in the past. You could spin up like hundreds of wallets. With like the rise of platforms like Kaito AI, I think we're seeing a great opportunity for like content creators to monetize their followings. And I think we're beginning to see like more kind of fairer distributions as compared to the past. So we can thank Jeff for that. And I think in the future, we expect like a more holistic approach to rewarding users. So this trend of like focusing on social connections or NFT ownership, we think that will continue. And we think like builders and content creators, the focus on those groups will probably be key. And, they're really helping certain projects to like help them to build their following and reach critical mass. And I'd say also like liquidity has become much more important. So providing liquidity and having liquidity available, that's also factored into the airdrops much more. Whereas before you could just interact like minimally and you could the airdrop. And also what Kyber Finance mentioned, they're doing like a VE token airdrop, or you could choose between like having locked or unlocked tokens. I think that's kind of a good move as well for alignment. And we're seeing a lot more of that too. And it's kind of like proven itself successfully, with like Velodrome and Aerodrome, which are kind of like, they performed pretty well for airdrops. There's no like claiming and bumping, and the price is held up pretty well compared to most other kind of airdrops.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, yeah. And I think as long as there are communities, there will be airdrops, right? It's just, a proven content. Yeah, 100%. Heidi, thanks a lot for your answer. Edball, I have to get back to you. This might be a little bit personal, but like, what's an NFT project that you personally always respected or been inspired by? And maybe it even influenced Catball's direction?
Well, to be completely honest with you, I kind of arranged late to crypto. I came around late 2021, and I had no clue about what's going on whatsoever. So I kind of missed the golden era of NFTs, and then for the next couple of years, I haven't stumbled upon anything that was really captivate my attention. I think we're trying to come up with something unique, and that's why we decided, for example, to have the traits interchangeable eventually, and so on and so forth. So I hate to say it, but there's not really a specific NFT project or a community that would really inspire me to do mine. But I think that's I have to give a lot of respect to all the hyperliquid builders. There's a lot of NFT communities, a lot of NFT artists and developers. Being a part of this eco is definitely something that is stimulating me every day. Whether that be something positive or negative, both ways, it keeps me going. So I guess to keep to our shorter hyperliquid eco is probably one of the strongest NFT ecosystems, especially with hypers. Hypers have really kind of allowed us to dream big when it comes to valuations and so forth. So yeah, it's interesting.
100%. And hey, man, I mean, Catbell is just gonna, kickstart the new era of NFTs on Hyperliquid.
That's very kind of you. I really don't know. I think the times are very what's the proper word here? There's a lot of unknown. They're very uncertain. So I really have no clue how it's going to go down. But I still do believe in Hyperliquid. If any ecosystem has a chance to survive, I think Hyperliquid would be among the top survivors, so to say, of everything that's going down. So I think it's one of the best bets. I just don't want to overhype the NFTs because there's not much liquidity on the market. I personally I was liquidated quite hard on the 10th. I think a lot of you were too. I'm not really a great trader, as it turns out. So yeah, it's just hard times for any assets to kind of, except for hype, to perform well price wise. So I think the next couple of days, weeks, months will be under the sign of survival and rather, and then maybe hopefully we'll see some better days.
Amazing. Yeah, it's a scary time for a lot of people, and especially, what happened a few weeks ago was definitely scary. A lot of people are hurt, that's for sure. But yeah, we see these things every year, to be honest. It's always something, right? So, we've been there before, and we always bounce back. Yeah, awesome. All right, thanks a lot, Gadmal. Closing round, guys. Before we wrap up, want to just open the floor. If someone from the community wants to get on stage and ask a question to the project, please request right now, and I'll bring you up. If any project here wants to share something, maybe upcoming alpha partnerships, whatever it is, we have a few minutes for that. Yes, Andre.
Yeah, just wanted to mention that we just launched new market, which is Plasma XPL covered calls, pretty high yield there. And also launching a couple more this week. I'm not going to tell which one, but it's going to be some of the bigger names out there.
Awesome. That's some major alpha right there. And I know a lot of people were asking about this as well. Like my DMs were full of asking for new integrations, assets to play around with. So keep an eye on the socials, guys. Airdrops.io, go ahead.
Yeah, so one bit of alpha that we wanted to share is that in Q1 of next year, we're going to be doing a complete relaunch and introduce a version 2 of the airdrops.io portal. So the aim of the relaunch is to just completely modernize the experience. Since 2017, there's loads of new things. There's like Privy and all these new integrations and technology that we could utilize. So we're really excited about this update. And just make farming a lot easier and more effective for our community. And then, just check out our X and Telegram. Currently doing giveaways and promotions with various projects. And we give like a daily roundup on airdrop opportunities in our Telegram. Check that out too. Thanks.
Yeah, and I can confirm there's quite if you play it well, not financial advice, but you can earn a thing or two by following airdrops.io. I've been on it for years. So definitely check that out, guys. Empress, you just left us.
No, it kicked me all the way out.
No worries. Awesome. All right. Anything else, guys?
I think Hyperliquid is building and it's going to be here for a minute. So calm the hell down and stop wanting instant gratification. And then maybe you'll stop crashing out and looking like women. No offense.
Thanks a lot, Empress. I mean, that should hype the rest up, right? And I do think the overall activity has been down The last few weeks, people have been, we've seen some thought for the first time that I saw some serious thought within the ecosystem, and I think the more TGEs will come, the more, thought arises. There's just a lot of people that are new within crypto or just, very emotional. So like Empress said, just believe in hype and keep building, guys. Alrighty, I think this is the end of the space, guys. I want to thank all the speakers for being here. Amazing discussion, and I learned a lot, to be honest. Next week, I'm going to invite a lot of other projects as well. The same projects will be invited every week. So thank you all for being here, and I hope to see you all next week. Goodbye, guys.
Thanks for having. Thank you a lot.